I rarely stop moving forward. I'm a planner and organizer. I don't look back. That's where the serenity prayer comes in. Accept the things that you cannot change, Have the courage to change the things that you can change and know the difference.
We recognize genius wherever it exists. And if you're known by the company you keep, we are proud to not only spotlight the women that are part of Rockefeller Capital Management's unique network, but also welcome our brilliant audience members.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Sario, Divisional Director of Rockefeller Global Family Office's Southeast Division, and welcome back to Genius Loves Company. Everyone has a story to tell, and we're excited to hear those from some of Rockefeller's top private advisors, investors, senior leaders, and women in our broader network about the life and career experiences that got them here and the insights and perspectives they've gained. With me today is Sabina Lien, one of Rockefeller's top private advisors. She brings decades of experience to her role as managing director of Lien DeGrace Wealth Partners, which is based in Winter Park, Florida. Born in northern Germany, Sabina moved to the United States at the age of 21. As a private advisor, she is committed to nurturing strong client relationships and providing bespoke solutions to meet their every need. I am so excited about today, more than ever. Welcome, Sabina.
Hello, Kristen. Thank you for having me and including me in this remarkable and extraordinary group of women. Hearing their stories is motivating, and listening to the different paths their careers took, leading to where they are and their successes is just a great story.
It really is, and it connects all of us, and quite frankly, we're going to have so much fun. So, Sabina, let's start at the very beginning. Tell me where you were born. Where did you grow up? You have this beautiful accent. I want to hear more about it.
Well, I was born and grew up in Schwanewede, which is in northern Germany, close to the North Sea. If you know where Denmark is, then you know where I'm actually from. The town is located between Hamburg and Bremen. And besides farming, tank division for the army, shipbuilding by the river, there's nothing else.
So nothing else. What was that like for you growing up in this small farm town?
Well, everybody knew everybody. Okay, so
Sure.
There were two small grocery stores, the size of a corner bodega, but they were not 24/7, by the way. One butcher or one bakery, one small church, and two restaurants. Kids, actually, we went to school 6 days a week. Yes, even on Saturdays until noon. Nothing else to do, I guess. No. The stores closed that day at 1 p.m. and they reopened on Monday. Some stores actually even were closed Wednesday afternoons for siesta. Soccer was on TV. We had 3 channels. Most TVs were still black and white. Sunday mornings, I remember watching opera on TV as a kid. No cartoons yet. I guess the frilly dresses just amazed me as a little girl. I remember when the first McDonald's opened in downtown Bremen. It was an event. It was certainly an event. We went there for extraordinary family celebrations, complained about too much ice cubes in the cola. And that's how it was. And at 21, then I left Germany, went to the US, first as an au pair and then as a foreign student at Rollins College.
But you mentioned at 21, you made this significant move to the US. What possibly motivated you to take such a huge leap like that?
Adventure, no ties, restless, young, naive. Well, thank goodness, all of that, I guess, and not knowing what to expect. And I just jumped in at the opportunity. It sounds like a cliche, but I guess if it doesn't scare you, it will not make you grow.
Oh, I like that.
Well, John D. Rockefeller. Remember, there's one of those quotes. I when I saw it, I'm like, oh my goodness, yes. Don't be afraid to let go of the good if you can be great.
Oh, very familiar.
So that's it. Not that
quote.
I was that wise at that age. I did not know. No. that was not a thoughtful process I was doing when I took the advantage of taking a job as an au pair girl after my hotel management degree. So I finished that. I knew I didn't want to do that. And I said, well, 1 year in sunny Florida or staying in gray, dreary, cold Northern Europe. At 21, I think Florida sounded just extraordinary.
I completely understand that perspective, and I appreciate that you said there was a little part of you that may have been naive about it, because sometimes going into things somewhat blindly creates that adventure that we all seek. So when you got here, what were your first impressions of the U.S. and how did they compare to life in Germany? Were there big culture shocks, kind of these unexpected challenges? Tell me what you were going through, because I can't even imagine.
Culture shock, yes. Unexpected challenges, sure, but both in a good way. The optimism that Americans have compared to the Northern European culture is just, for somebody who comes with nothing, like amazing. Everything was brighter. Everything was so cheery. There was abundance of a lot of stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now, I did have at that point language difficulties. I wasn't fluent yet, so it was good to be in a little capsule family, taking care of children and then learning the ABCs with them, essentially. But yeah, it definitely helped that I was on my own at 18. And so for 3 years, I was on my own, and I was economically struggling when I was in Germany. So coming over here then, coming to the US and being in this protected environment for a while, that just really helped.
I'm sure it did. And it's still amazing for me to think that you made such a huge leap at that age, because I don't think at that age I could have. But you just put something in like this beautiful perspective for me, that optimism you talk about. I think I probably take it for granted. And it was a nice little reminder that you're right. We do have opportunity and optimism and a lot at our fingertips. So thank you for that. So coming over here, has your identity evolved since you've moved to the US? Or do you still feel really connected to Germany?
I guess both. Okay, I definitely evolved because I was at this point still young enough to create a different personality and so forth anyway. But I was lucky that I was young, naive, and poor and not missing any luxuries yet. So it was definitely an advantage. So I struggled and I was reaching for the American dream. And in order to get there, I had to work hard. I just had to figure it all out. Like I said, I'm still connected to Germany. I'm very close with my sister. And I'm getting my European kicks always because my daughter decided to live in London. So I'm there quite frequently.
So you're always going back and forth. I think that's great. Your story is so inspiring, just how hard you had to work to take these big leaps of faith and to do things and walk into the unknown. But your career journey is also inspiring. So how did you transition from the hotel industry to finance? And I imagine there were a lot of obstacles that you faced in doing that. What were some of those?
What was I thinking, right?
What were we all thinking?
What was I thinking? While I was thinking about your question here, I did not have an imposter syndrome situation yet. I think young people at 20, they don't have that. They don't know what that is. And that is a big advantage. I mean, we don't want them to have that. This is great because we want them to leap forward without thinking and advancing and doing things. Anyway, so yeah, I was an immigrant. I had to figure it out. Finished my hotel management, came over as an au pair. The year was over. Did I want to go back? No. but I wanted to go in finance. Something I did in hotel management, doing my training there and doing my graduation there. I was in the accounting department mostly, so I was doing it there already. I was doing the debits and credits and all this kind of stuff. So I knew that's what I wanted to do, but not in the hotel. So
Sure.
What I figured out is I needed a U.S. college degree in order to get my foot in the door. How do I do that? Okay, well, an immigrant, we need to figure out paperwork, and the internet was not really invented yet. So I figured it all, did it all by hand and foot. So studied for my SAT, got the TOEFL test done, applied for a spot at Rollins College, did the immigration paperwork done, on and on and on. Those are the obstacles, but I did it.
Wow.
I got scholarships from Rollins. I worked on campus, and after then receiving my bachelor's degree, I actually started working for the Laughlin Group, which was a company that provided at that point annuity products to the banking clients for Sunbank at that point. So was an assistant, was the girl for everything in that for those people. Got my licenses, insurance licenses, FINRA licenses, and while I was doing that, at night I went to school for my graduate degree at UCF to get my CPA license.
Wow.
So I was essentially working,
Busy.
Classes, studying, and then doing it all over again.
Sure. Well, I think that's really helped to create what makes you so great today is that tenacity and that hard work. I can deduct that just from some of our conversation. But did you also have some mentors along the way, or were you just driving forward solo this whole time?
I'm a self-starter. And I think because I grew up in this small little town, nothing going on, farming a lot, we don't know what mentors are. At that point, I did not know. So I wasn't seeking anybody for that position, essentially. So I'm a self-starter. But what did I have was I had a great colleague in Bob, and he retired, and he just believed in me, and he took me on. So just that. So being helped by a teammate, essentially. And I have a great fan club, my husband. He's just the greatest.
When you talk about mentors and maybe not identifying certain people as mentors along the way, I think it's interesting to hear you look back, though, because sometimes we don't realize people are mentors, and they really are. And you are that just by sharing your story. And I think sometimes they don't have to be labeled as a mentor to be part of that journey. But self-starter, no question. What's the best financial advice you've received, and who gave it to you? And has that advice kind of influenced your approach to planning, to advising, to the things that you're doing today?
Don't spend money you do not have.
Very good advice.
There we go. I think that's more a German thing than anything else. That's how I grew up. If you don't have it, you cannot spend it, and you have to save for it, postpone it, or have a sound plan in place in order to repay it if you took a loan or something. It's as simple as that. That's what it is. And yes, that also means that my financial plans, my strategies are probably more on the conservative side and the sound side than not.
Well, and you make it sound so simple, but I assure you, just by knowing you and knowing your team and what you do, that what you do every day is very complex, and you add great value, both simple and the complex needs to all of your clients. Anything in particular you do to stay connected with your clients?
I'm not sure if I'm unique or different from my strategies in regard to that compared to my esteemed colleagues. At the end, I think our clients want to be heard, understood, and listened to. And so I think the important part is to be available, to always be available. And I think that we are hired as specialists to make decisions for them. We are the decision makers. We are the ones who have to sieve through all the vast amount of products and investment solution that's out there, and what fits, what doesn't fit, what is sound. That's my role, to make that decision and to make them feel comfortable with it at the same time.
And we're in a day and age where there is so much information. You talked earlier about there was no internet and there was no this and that, but today we have everything. And so being that filter of information is peace of mind. And I understand the importance in that piece of what you do. Can you share a personal achievement that you're really proud of, and maybe how you overcame a challenge to achieve this milestone?
I actually do not work like that.
Okay, explain.
I rarely stop moving forward. I don't go to something and then stop. I'm always I'm a planner and organizer. I say I stage my life. So it's I guess I'm proud that I have been able to juggle a career, raise an independent daughter with my husband, and have a very close-knit family, which I did not have when I was growing up. So I think I'm very proud of that. Well, I'm proud of that I trained for a marathon last year and got badly injured. And at that point, everybody said, no, that's it. No more running for you, Missy. No more long distance running, you're done.
How did that go over?
Oh my God. Actually, I accepted it because my husband was saying, okay, come, walking is good. But here I am, back running. And I'm preparing right now actually for a hike/trail run in Scotland in July. So
it sounds incredible.
That's a milestone, I guess. And then, but we'll go on, and then, because I'm still trying to figure out a marathon to run with my daughter.
Oh, so. I want to run a marathon with my daughter too.
See?
We'll have to talk offline, but she just started really getting into running at 20 years old. And I love having that to share. And a marathon, I said I was never going to do the marathon distance again after an upcoming race, but to do it with our daughters is special in a whole different way. That finish line will feel different. So I will be your biggest fan and cheering squad when you do that. And you will have to let me know. But Scotland first. And after Scotland, I loved how you said that you stage your life, you go forward, you go through it. You don't really think about it in milestones. And that's great advice. So looking back, though, what do you wish you had known when you first maybe started all of this or started in the business?
That is a really tough question for me because I don't look back. Actually, that's where the serenity prayer comes in, I guess, because I really like that one as well. Accept the things that you cannot change, the past. I cannot change it. Move on. Have the courage to change the things that you can change, because the now and here and now is exactly where I want to be and what I can have control of, and know the difference. There we go.
So with that, then, what really excites you about things looking forward?
Technology. Isn't that amazing? Come on. Do you remember the Monroe Trader? I mean, I actually learned on the Monroe Trader to sell treasuries.
Wow.
Yes. Don't put it in front of me. I don't know what to do with it now. But
it's so interesting because technology excites you and it kind of scares me. And that's what we're up against right now is they're both sides of it.
Yeah. It's moving us forward, right?
It is.
There's no stopping.
That's great. And especially in our business, how we communicate, how we get information.
The transparency it created for investors or financial advisors and specialists. I mean, it's amazing. I'm loving it.
Well, good. That is a very good perspective and something we should all look forward to and really embrace how to use it going forward, which I think is the hardest part. So this is my favorite question. I ask it to everybody. But something I love to continue asking as my, final question is, where can we find you at 10 a.m. on Saturday? Because if I recall, 10 a.m. is pretty late for you, right?
It is. And I love this question. And it's kind of sort of my non-negotiable, almost that 10 o'clock Saturday Holy Saturday situation. So let me tell you, by 10 o'clock, I have been already up for about 7 hours. I get up at 3:15, 7 days a week, because that's when I start my day in the gym. It's my psychological counseling situation. I love it there. It just gives me time to myself.
So your husband is not getting up at 3:15 with you?
No, oh my God, no! I have to be there by myself. Come on, it's my place. So at that point, and especially on a Saturday, I will have been I will be on the Peloton for 10 miles. Then I will meet my running buddy Beth. We will do our 8.5 miles through the city. Then I go home and off to the farmer's market. So by 10 o'clock, essentially, I am back at the house in my kitchen, and I'm staging the week, meaning I'm cutting vegetables, I'm cutting the fruit, I put stuff away, and bake my sourdough bread.
I thought I was an early riser, and I'm like a 4:30 in the morning, 7 days a week. You have officially beat my early riser record. But I have to know, because you've been doing 3:15, 7 days a week for so long, do you set an alarm? Do you naturally wake up at that time?
I'm almost naturally now wake up because I've done it for so long. And it started with having a baby.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's when it started, because at that point I was studying for my CFP, and she had her night feeding, so at around this time, and I just decided to stay up and study for that and then go on with the day. So that's how it started.
Wow.
Isn't it always like that? Kids, right?
They make always us do stuff. Some of our changes. So I have one follow-up question that I normally don't ask, but what time do you go to bed?
About 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Beautiful.
I will be in bed. Yeah, I do. I will be early in bed.
Early bird gets the worm. I am really excited that you shared your story with us today. Sabina, thank you so much for joining us. You shared an incredible story. It's going to be motivating for so many people, and a great connector. And also, thank you to everybody for tuning in to Genius Loves Company.
Thank you for listening to Genius Loves Company. To learn more about Rockefeller Capital Management, visit rockco.com or keep up with us on LinkedIn or Instagram. This material was prepared by Rockefeller Capital Management. The views expressed of the hosts and guests in this episode are as of a particular point in time and are subject to change without notice. The views expressed by the speakers are solely their own and may differ from or conflict with those of other divisions in Rockefeller Capital Management. This information was provided for illustrative and educational purposes only. It should not be construed as an investment recommendation, investment advice, an offer of Rockefeller investment advisory or brokerage services, or a projection or illustration of the performance of any particular investment or strategy offered by Rockefeller. Forward-looking statements, including those presented herein, are inherently uncertain, as future events may differ materially from those reflected, and past performance is not a guarantee of future performance.